Welcome to Untamed Intimacy, the show that helps you explore your sensual nature and reclaim your sexual power so that you can cultivate epic love and create intimacy deeper than you've ever known. I believe that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships, and that you already have the power to cultivate deep love and connection. And I'm going to show you how. I'm your host, Lee Noto, intimacy coach and sensuality specialist. I help powerful women like you access your innate erotic and emotional intelligence so you can be unabashedly self-expressed and create pleasure across every area of your life. If you're ready to create untamed intimacy, then this is the podcast for you. Hello, everyone. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about a mistrust for the feminine. This has come up for me in so many ways, and I see so many other women and men experience exactly what I've been experiencing, yes, my whole life, but also for the past 24 hours. This is something that has come up over and over and over again for me. And in fact, if we're looking at the larger implications of our collective mistrust for the feminine, then it is exactly why we are where we are right now in our society. So here's what I mean by the feminine. I don't necessarily mean a mistrust. I don't at all actually mean a mistrust for women. I mean a mistrust for the feminine energy that is inherent within all of us. Now, you've heard me speak about this energy in other episodes, but feminine energy is characterized by the energy that creates, that rests, replenishes, nourishes, that is ever flowing, that is chaotic, that is non-linear. So this energy is not something that's hailed or applauded by our Western society. What we tend to value is the energy of structure, analysis, achievement, and when those things become overdeveloped or without balance of the feminine, it becomes conquering, and it certainly becomes burnout. So here's how this has been arising for me in the past few days particularly, and how it arises for me throughout my life, because I see so many other people experience this. So typically when I approach my menstrual cycle, I find myself, my energy internally to be much more chaotic than it is at other points in the month. And so the order in which I do things around the house or in the kitchen seems illogical to my logical brain, the side of me that has a lot of masculine energy. I leave things open on the counter. I don't put things away. Now, typically, this is not my quote unquote style at all. And even I'm noticing even now being attached to a style as if one is me and one is not is a part of what creates the issue here. So what I've been noticing as I'm approaching my period right now is that I'm feeling that chaotic energy within. It feels completely disordered. It feels all sorts of emotions. Among them are sad, angry, excited, all of these things. And because our minds are so used to wanting order and wanting to be able to categorize and fit things in a nice little box, when this chaotic feminine energy blows through like a hurricane sometimes, it can feel disorienting, it can feel disconcerting. And one, I want to say it doesn't have to feel that way, but two, my question is, where is the space for us to be with that disorientation, to be with the disorder, and to not have to make things nice and neat all of the time? And that's where our discomfort and our lack of proficiency comes in, because we weren't taught how to let things be messy. I mean, if you look at how many people raise children. Sometimes parents will let their kids run wild and get finger paint all over, but typically there's a nice, neat little box that we have to stay in, and the finger paint has to stay on the paper. It cannot be on the clothing, cannot be on the walls, cannot be on the table. So there are certain behaviors that we're taught and we learn are acceptable, and then other behaviors are not acceptable. And a lot of those behaviors that are deemed unacceptable are directly correlated with our unbridled self-expression. And so we've been taught how to diminish and staunch our self-expression. Staunch is not the right word. Diminish and push down our self-expression. And this is what I have been experiencing over these past few days, is this chaotic whirlwind of energy inside of me and a lack of acceptance for it, or a seeing of it and a judgment of it, or a seeing of it and a slight acceptance of it, and then an immediate drop back into going, doing, achieving, organizing, because if not, then I am a worthless piece of shit. That's the very dangerous subconscious conversation that happens. Now, for anyone who's listening, I really invite you to ask yourself if that happens for you. If there is a tying of self-worth to your outputs and your production. Are there spaces in your life where you allow yourself to unplug, to relax, to do nothing, to be messy, to feel disorganized, to eat ice cream in the middle of the day and not wash the bowl and feel okay with that everything is in nice, neat order? Or is there a pushing away of that part of you because it is in direct competition with the part of you that, makes things happen in the world and that earns you money and wins you accolades? So I found myself struggling with this morning. And as I was sharing a very deep message to a group of women that I'm a part of, I found myself saying in a video message that I've been in deep mistrust of my own feminine energy. I have not trusted what is on the other side of real relaxation. I've not trusted what's on the other side of letting go, of surrender. I've not trusted what's on the other side of spending a weekday or multiple weekdays not drilling myself into the ground with work. And it is this odd, undefinable experience of chaos and confusion and so many things. So my inquiry to myself and to all of you this morning is there a space for all of us to be kind to ourselves when we're feeling things in our bodies? Like, for example, this morning I'm starting to feel the onset of my menstrual cycle, and I don't feel like waking up and going for a run and doing 20 things before 10 a.m. That's just not where I'm at today. And on the days where I am there, I accept and love myself. But on the days when I'm not, it's a little more challenging. It feels a little more challenging. So what can we do to create a space for the acceptance of ourselves in relaxed states, in states other than being the machines that produce all the time? And certainly this time of Corona is confronting many of us with this question, whether we're consciously asking it or not. So in sharing this episode, I want to make a declaration, and I invite you to take this on in any way that feels good for you, or to make your own declaration to allow space for the feminine energy to be there, for the one that feels chaotic, that feels like part of you just wants nurturing, or to nurture, or to not do anything, to replenish, to create something. And maybe it's not a spreadsheet, maybe it's a poem, maybe it's a mess in the kitchen, whatever it is. I declare I declare the ability to witness myself in this process and to hold space for myself and to be with the powerful, ever-changing, ever-flowing emotions that arise from this place. And in that, we create more trust, more ability to hold the tension for just a little bit longer when the discomfort comes up. Because I'm not sitting here trying to tell myself that I have to immediately trust and know how to surrender and just be so in tune with my feminine energy such that there will never be another issue ever again. I think that's a bit unrealistic for me at this point. But what I am saying is if I can commit to just holding the tension a little more for myself, to just holding myself a little more each time as if I were holding my own child in my arms, then what could come of that? What shift, what beautiful possibility could come of that? And what new way can I see my true power? Because there is so much power in our feminine energy, and we just haven't given ourselves enough space to recognize the rawness and realness of that power. We've been so afraid to recognize the depth and breadth of our feminine power because we have been so conditioned into thinking that there's only power in our masculine energy, in the going, doing, achieving, getting done. So with that, I leave you with an invitation to hold the tension when your emotions come up. Hold a space for yourself to be with them and to feel them. And if there's room for a little more self-acceptance, or at least a witnessing and an acknowledgement of what's there for you, then to allow that to be. And on that note, I'm going to allow myself to be as I'm laying here in bed in Austin, Texas right now, wishing you all so much love and good vibes. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you made it this far, it probably means that you enjoyed listening, learned a lot, and are one step closer to deeper intimacy. To help other women like you discover the show and transform their lives, please consider leaving a 5-star review and hitting subscribe. If you want to be the first to gain access to exclusive content, powerful practices, and tools to create untamed intimacy in your life, then join my mailing list by clicking the link in the show notes. You'll receive powerfully curated content that's no bullshit and pure love. If you want to learn more about creating untamed intimacy in your life, then visit me at leenoto.com. I see you, sister, and I appreciate you. Until next time, much love and good vibes.